let me just go over what we're going to do in science today. Some of you may have already finished it. Some of you still need to finish it up. You're going to finish the packet on incomplete and complete metamorphosis. So you're going to finish that packet on complete and incomplete metamorphosis. If you've already finished it, then you're done with science for the day. Make sure you're studying it though, because you do have a test tomorrow. And the test tomorrow, if you're not studying it, you won't know what to do. All right? So, finish up that science packet and study it. One thing I do want to say about incomplete and complete metamorphosis, we talked about that a human has incomplete metamorphosis. On the test tomorrow, it's going to ask you something similar to that, and one of your choices is going to be a human. According to the test, humans do not go through incomplete metamorphosis or complete metamorphosis. So if you want to write that down somewhere so you remember that, humans do not go through either one. Okay? I will tell you that's incorrect, but for the sake of the test tomorrow, they do not go through either one. All right. Your homework from last night. Yes, Emma.
I finished.
Good. All right. So I've got numbers 1 and 2 on my board. All right. Both of these were simple subtraction, because your numerator on this one is bigger than your numerator on this one. Numerator is bigger, so I just simply subtract. So 3 minus 1 is 2 over 4. 10 minus 7 is 3. That should have been your answer on number 1. 3 and 2/4. 3 and 2 over 4. This number 2. 4 minus 3 is 1 over 6. 7 minus 2 is 5. So you'd gotten 5 and 1/6. 5 and 1/6. It's the page 523. It's last night's homework. Number 3. Okay, number 3 and number 4. I now have them written on my board. Number 3. I can't take 0 away from 2/3. So I have to borrow from the 3. The 3 becomes a 2. I know my denominator is going to be a 3. And my numerator is going to be a 3 because I didn't have a fraction there to begin with. So 3 minus 2 is 1 over 3. And you can put a 0 in front of it if you want. If you didn't want, that was okay. The answer was 1/3. All right, number 4. Simple subtraction because our numerator is bigger on the top. So 8 minus 3 is 5 over 12. 7 minus 2 is 5. 1 minus 1 is 0. So 5 and 5/12. 5 and 5/12. Emma, turn off your camera. Unless you're going to sit still. All right. Number 5. I told you not to write it beside each other like that because you can't see it very well. You needed to write it up and down. So let's look at 5 and 6. So number 5 was 9 and 2/6. 4 was 5 and 5 over 12. All right. Guys, you need to keep up because I can't keep going back and repeating these. We won't get done with today's lesson. Number 3 was 1/3. All right. Number 5 and number 6. Number 5. My 2 and my 5 are my denominators, or my numerators, I'm sorry. You can't take 5 away from 2. So I have to regroup. So I take a whole from the 8. Now, those people that joined me yesterday for the extra practice learned something that the rest of y'all didn't learn. If you would have joined me for the extra practice, you would have learned that all you have to do is add the denominator to the numerator to get my new numerator. So 6 plus 2 is 8. Again, you add your denominator to your numerator to get your new numerator. So 8 minus 5 is 3 over 6, and 8 minus 6 is 2. So you should have gotten 2 and 3/6. 2 and 3/6. All right. Number 6 was 4 1/5 minus 2 and 3/5. Again, your numerator on the top one is smaller than your numerator on the bottom one. So you have to regroup. Whoever camera is on, turn it off. Emma, is that your camera? Thank you. All right, so I'm borrowing from the 3, or from the 4, it becomes a 3. Now, to get my number on top here, I add the 5 plus the 1. That gives me 6. So 6 minus 3 is 3 over 5. And 3 minus 2 is 1. So I get 1 and 3/5. 1 and 3/5. All right, moving to number 7. You had 6 and 3 over 12 minus 3 and 4 over 12. And I'm going to go ahead and write down 8 real quick. All right. So number 7, you have a 3 and a 4. You can't take 4 away from 3. So you have to regroup your 6. It becomes a 5. I add 12 to that 3. That becomes a 15. 15 minus 4 is 9 over 12. 5 minus 3 is 2. So I get 2 and 9/12. 2 and 9/12. All right, number 8. I've got a 2 and a 7. Again, I cannot subtract that 7 from the 2. So my 5 becomes a 4. I add the 8 to the 2. That becomes a 10. Now I can subtract. 10 minus 7 is 3 over 8. And 4 minus 3 is 1. So I get 1 and 3/8.
Miss Blackmon?
Yes.
I thought 15 minus 4 was 11.
Yes, it is. Sorry.
Me too.
Yeah, it should be 2 and 11/12. Sorry. All right, let's move on to number 9.
Miss Blackmon?
Yes.
What was number 8? Miss Blackmon, can you please repeat the answers from number 5 to 8?
I just had them up on the board. Guys, if you're not paying attention, you need to stay in your seat and pay attention. I cannot keep going over these because we won't get to today's lesson. All right, number 5. Number 5 was 2 and 3 over 6. Number 6 is 1 and 3 over 5. Number 7 is 2 and 11 over 12. Number 8 is 1 and 3 over 8. Whoever's phone's on, you need to turn it off. This is class. All All right. So right now I'm writing down 9 and 10. And I'm going to write 11.
That's mine.
It's all right.
That was mine.
I'm going to write down 11 and 12 also. All right. So number 9. Number 9 says 8 and 1/4 minus 7 and 3/4. I can't take 3 away from 1, so I have to regroup. This becomes a 7. I add 4 to that 1. 4 plus 1 is 5. So 5 minus 3 is 2 over 4. 7 minus 7 is 0. So I get 2/4. 2 over 4.
Miss Blackmon, which one are you on?
That was number 9.
Miss Blackmon,
Yes.
is it okay if you got a 0?
Like this? 0 and 2 over 4? Yes.
Miss Blackmon, what was number 8? I wasn't here because my laptop started working wrong.
1 and 1/4. 1 and 1/4. Number 9 is on the board, Sarah. 0 and 2/4. Okay, number 10. You have a 9 on top and a 5. You can take 5 away from 9, so there's no regrouping. So 9 minus 5 is 4 over 10. 2 minus 2 is 0. So you could either get 4/10 or 0 and 4/10. That was just simple subtraction.
Miss Blackmon,
Yes.
I thought number 8 was 1 and 3/8. Yeah, that was mine too.
Yes, it's 1 and 3/8. Sorry.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Number 11. Number 11, you have a 5 on the top and a 4 on the top. You can subtract these. So 5 minus 4 is 1/6. 6 minus 6 is 0. So you get 1/6. All right. Number 12. You don't have a fraction, so we need to add a fraction in. So we're going to borrow from this 3. You get a 2. With 4 over 4. Now I can subtract. 4 minus 3 is 1 over 4. 2 minus 1 is 1. So I get 1 and 1/4.
Miss Blackmon,
Yes.
for number 11, I got 1 and 1/6.
It'd help if I copied down the problem right. You're right. It's 1 and 1/6 because that was a 5, not a 6. All right. So 1 and 1/6. Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
All right.
It's okay.
Now we're going to go through 13 through 16. All right. Number 13 is 11 minus 2.5. Number 14 is 42 and 6/10 minus 10. Number 15 is 18 and 1/5 minus 2 and 2/5. And 16 was 27 and 2/6 minus 12 and 1/6. All right. Number 13. Yes.
What was number 12?
1 and 1/4.
Mine says 2 and 1/4.
You didn't change that 3 to a 2 when you regrouped.
Miss Blackmon, what's number 11?
Number 11 was 1 and 1/6.
confused with number 12. This is what I got from number 12. Look. Wait, can you see it?
Nope. Okay, Lillian, where did you get that 4/4? Did you get it? Did you get it from the 3?
Yeah.
Huh?
I got it from... I forgot where I got it from.
You got it from the 3 because it's not in the book. So that 3 should have become a 2. It's just like the one we're getting ready to do. Watch. All right, so number 13 is 11 minus 2.5. So I don't have a fraction here, so I have to make this 11 a 10. And I get 2/2. Do you see that, Lillian?
I can't see. Your picture's blurry. I can see now. Miss Blackmon, you're frozen.
I'm not frozen. I'm just holding it still so somebody else can see it. All right. So when you borrow from a whole number, that whole number has to change. All right. 2 minus 1 is 1/2. 10 minus 2 is 8. So you get 8.5. Miliani, turn off your camera if you're going to be moving around. All right, number 14. 6 minus 0 is 6/10. 2 minus 0 is 2. 4 minus 1 is 3. So you get 32 6/10. 32 6/10.
Miss Blackmon,
Yes.
I got 31 6/10.
Okay. Why did you change your 42 to 41? Or why did you change your 9 or your 10 to a 9? There was nothing you had to do on this one as far as regrouping. It just stays the same. Because if I have a 0 fraction here, I just subtract. All right. All right. Number 15. I have a 2 and a 1. I can't subtract 2 from 1. So I regroup. The 18 becomes a 17. 5 plus 1 is 6. So 6 minus 2 is 4/5. And 17 minus 2 is 15. So I get 15 and 4/5. 15 and 4/5. All right, the last one, I didn't have to regroup because my 2 is bigger than my 1, so I get 1/6. 7 minus 2 is 5. 2 minus 1 is 1, so I get 15 and 1/6. 15 and 1/6. All right, are there any specific questions over any of these? Does anybody have any questions over any of these on this paper? All right, tells me we're good to go for today's lesson. Yes, yes. Ho, 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 ho. Guys, if you hear somebody talk, guys, if you hear somebody talking, don't talk over them. I can only hear one person at a time. Lillian, what were you asking?
What was number 14?
Number 14 was 32 6/10.
Okay.
Who else had a question? Luciana, what's your question?
What is number 15, 16, and 12?
15 was 15 and 4/5. 16 was 15 and 1/6. And 12 was 1 and 1/4.
Are we grading this?
We just did.
I thought I'd like you get the grades.
No. All right, any more questions over this? All right, then we're going to look at today's lesson. We're actually going backwards in the book a little bit. We're going to page 509, which is lesson 9-8. 9-8, 509. All right, I'm just going to check real quick. Anna Paula, did you get on? Anna Paula? No Anna Paula today? All right. Camilla R., did you get on? Camilla R. Leon, did you get on? Leon. Sophia B. Sophia B. Sarah R. Sarah R. All right. All right, moving on to today's lesson. This is just yes.
I forgot to tell you when you asked the question to what do you have any questions on the piece of paper? I forgot to tell you because my mic wasn't working. But I like yesterday when you told me about the thing, like when you told me about you add and stuff like that. I forgot how to regroup.
You take one from the whole number and you add the denominator to the numerator to make your new numerator. All right, so today we're working with both adding and subtracting. All right, on page 509, it says on I'm going to skip to number 6. Number 6, it's showing you how to do this without actually subtracting. So it has 1, and then it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 1/4, and then it has a 5th 1/4. Okay? So it's telling me that my answer to this is going to be 1/4 plus 1/4, which is 2/4. Now, if you don't get that, Miliani, stop. Good morning, Anna Paula. Good morning, Camilla R. We're on page 509. We're just getting started on today's lesson. 509. All right, so it says 2 1/4 minus 1 3/4. All right, if you don't understand the drawing, it's okay because it gives you the problem. All right, so here's the problem I'm looking at. I'm looking at number 6 on page 509. All right, can I take 3 from 1? Miliani, stop. Can I take 3 from 1? No, I cannot. So my 2 becomes a 1, and then I add the 4 and the 1, so that's 5. So 5 minus 3 is 2 over 4, and 1 minus 1 is 0. So basically, if you look at that picture on number 6, they've got where it just has 2/4 left. That's the same answer I got. All right, let's look at number 7. Number 7 says 1 2/3 plus 2 2/3. So I add my numerators together, so that's 4 over 3, and this is 3. Yes, it is okay if you leave it like this. However, if you know how to divide and do it right, you may have gotten 4 1/3. I am not looking for this answer. I'm looking for this answer. I will accept either one, but for most of you, this is the answer you're going to give me. All right. All right. Look at number 8. You have 2 3/4 minus 1 3/4. This is just simple subtraction. 3 minus 3 is 0 over 4, and 2 minus 1 is 1. So my answer is 1. Because anytime I have a 0 over a denominator, that means that that's basically 0. So my answer is 1. Okay. Are there any questions over adding and subtracting using mixed numbers, which is a whole number and a fraction? Do I have any questions at all? This is your time to ask, guys. Any questions? Okay, so we understand how to regroup. Everybody understands how to regroup for subtraction?
Yes.
Everybody understands how to add?
Yes.
All right, so for today, listen closely because you're not doing the homework page. For today, you're going to finish page 509. Page 509, I've already done 6, 7, and 8 for you. So you're not doing number 1, but you're going to do 2 through 5. And then you're going to do 9 through 17. So 2 through 5 and 9 through 17. All right, you should be able to look from where I sent it to your parents and copy down what you need, because I don't have time to sit here and call out all the problems. Do you have the email from Sunday?
Miss Blackmon, what's the page?
The page is 509. 509.
Okay.
As soon as I send out my YouTube link, I will also put the lesson on that one. So if you don't have it, you can get it there. All right, again, you're making sure that you have 2 through 17 done. 2 through 17 have to be done. Yes, page 509. 2 through 17. Okay, are there any questions about what we're doing today?
Yes. No.
What's your question? 6, 7, and 8 I just did for you, but yes, you need to do them on your page also. So 2 through 17. 2 through 17.
And we study the science?
Yes, study the science. If you haven't finished it, you need to finish that packet.
Miss Blackmon,
Yes.
are we going to have homework today?
Yes, you have page 509, 2 through 17. Page 509, 2 through 17.